This is Tower Defense X, Roblox's single most anticipated upcoming game, because we don't stand Pet Simulator. Created by John Roblox, it's intended to rival the biggest tower defense games, Simulator, All-Stars, even Skibidi Toilet Defense. In this group with 100,000 members though, almost none of them can actually play the game, as there are currently only 75 people with one of these ranks. And I'm actually one of them. I am a bread tester, which means when I click the play button here, I don't get kicked out. If you're wondering, how did I get this special rank? Basically, earlier this year, John DM'd me and was like, hey, do you want to play TDX? And I replied something like, yeah. And that's pretty much it. Joining the lobby, you can see some clear indicators of the game's demo state, like this sign here, or how this side doesn't work, or this decal, which goes incredibly hard. But things get a lot more interesting in the inventory, as there's a decent variety of towers here. The laser guy, the DJ girl, the farm guy, battleship. A lot of things currently just have placeholder text or graphics, but all 9 of these towers are very refined. So with some units equipped, the first thing to do was try to beat the game, with the help of John, the owner himself. My loadout consisted of these 6 towers, which I don't know if my loadout is good. I brought warship, which is probably bad here.
There's no water. You just wasted a tower slot.
That's gonna be rough. Still, we were starting off with easy mode, which I thought surely couldn't be too difficult. Aside from the upgrade UI here, there's also some inconspicuous buttons down on the left, a sort of soft admin command panel to make testing stuff easier, but I'll get back to that later, because John and I were attempting to triumph entirely legitimately. I started off by placing a ranger, the cheapest starter tower, while John farmed a bit. I myself hadn't brought farm because I had the big battleship.
Man, I love farming. Sucks that you can't farm because you brought battleship instead.
Farm's overrated, you know, it doesn't do damage, it's not that good. So I just saved money for Missile Trooper, the main explosives-based tower. And we also started placing a bunch of these guys, Cryoblasters, capable of freezing zombies and pretty powerful. On wave 20, these hazmat zombies started spawning in, and from there it was a flood of tankier zombies, like the Abominations, who were stronger, faster, and dead. Yeah, at this point we had upgraded towers all around. These laser gunner units were helping out with their piercing, and John had placed down the DJ, which applied a variety of buffs to our towers. Waves 21, 22, 23, and 24 all folded under our setup. And it was time for the first of the final bosses, the Plague Doctor.
Don't worry, guys.
Oh,
You can kill him.
A lot of health.
Oh, I forgot I buffed him. Oh, well, it's fine. It's fine. We're good.
One thing about all of TDX's bosses is they tend to use a lot of abilities, which makes some of the later bosses a little bit tougher. I fully maxed out a bottom path Rocketeer. Oh yeah, so every tower has 2 upgrade paths, and for this guy, you can either spam missiles or take slower, much more powerful shots. You can also see this with the DJ John placed, as he opted for the top path, which provides the tower with an ability to buff the fire rate of nearby towers. So all of these upgrades, quite easily, let us take down the Plague Doctor, and earn rewards coming soon. But realistically, that was just the warm-up, as we now had to face intermediate mode, which doesn't sound that intimidating. It's like, oh, intermediate? I'm an intermediate player. Starting off, I placed Ranger. I'll get Ranger, I guess.
No, Ranger sucks in this game, dude. What are you doing? We lost the game already.
This little guy was not enough, as even the early waves here had much harder zombies.
Hey man, I don't think your Ranger is doing a whole lot.
Nah, he's doing like 3 damage. That's pretty good there. Like these revived bosses, who did leak through and damage our base. There's a lot of powered up zombies here, such as the Multiplier, who multiplies, like here, where it turned 2 bosses into 4, or the Grenadier, he throws grenades. We each farmed a bit and got different pieces of defense, until I had to take a call, like leave my computer. So John was tasked with defending solo. Okay, these 3 zombies here are about to kill us. John is out of money, so he sells these farms here to get 1 more laser gunner. Maybe just enough to live, and we tanked it on 8 health. I did get back as quick as I could, and okay, I'm back.
8 health because you didn't defend.
My bad. Okay, I got a lot of money. I'll get that.
Yes.
From there, things didn't get easier, but with the money I had, I placed a Juggernaut, one of the strongest towers in the game. We were constantly being pushed back, first by the monster, then by the monster again a few waves later, then by the Smasher. We were relying almost entirely on these 3 towers for a DPS.
Ranger with 500 damage. Hey, you know this guy's gonna get like killed on wave 30 like pretty fast?
That's a good idea actually. He can He can take the bullet for the rest of the
Yeah.
team. One other thing that's worth mentioning here, Tower Defense X has a pretty revolutionary feature. Death. Some of the strongest enemies and final bosses can just kill your towers. Take the Predator zombie, who spawns in as a mini boss in wave 30. He has a bionic arm with like gun implants or something, and he immediately got to work decimating our defense.
There we go, he's gonna die.
Nice.
Okay, we're good. Oh! I forgot my monsters! They should die.
No, we
They
got
should
this.
die, please die. Okay, we're good. See, there was nothing to worry about there. I don't know why you yelled out loud, dude. That was weird.
I got a little panicked, definitely. So that was quite the ordeal, but from there, despite massive hordes of zombies spawning, we were okay. And upon reaching wave 35, the real final boss spawned, the Eradicator. With over 160,000 health and a litany of abilities, he had that dog in him for sure. Our frontal defense wasn't too strong, and with him spamming abilities against us, we didn't start doing major damage until he was this far along the path. Where, to be fair, our DPS really increased. He fell to half health, where he then powered up.
He's gonna go faster. Please, come on, DJ! I need your echo! There we go! It's good.
Yeah, he completely destroyed that line of rangers, and then used his flamethrower attack versus the juggernauts. John used the DJ's encore ability, and we kept whittling down its health.
DJ, work! Come on! Come on, we should be able to kill him.
And we did take him down, at the very back of the path. With no health left, he blasted off into the stratosphere. This is probably my favorite animation in the game.
We only had a few deaths, it's fine.
Lost a few rangers, but worth it.
A worthy sacrifice.
So yeah, John and I had successfully beaten both demo game modes. Pretty fun experience, pretty cool. Don't worry about Nightmare mode there, that'll be something for a different day. It's currently unfinished, as were a few other features here, i.e. these pseudo admin commands. Basically, these buttons are meant to help testers test stuff. Like obviously, you can't just press this button to get $1 million in a real game. So I want to explore all these features before their eventual removal. First of all, I used the cash button to give myself infinite money, and to try to hit the unit limit, which here is 100 towers. Quite a lot. Yeah, I kinda just spam missile troopers and DJs randomly, the latter of which I'd say is my favorite tower aesthetically actually. It is very clean. Or rather, second favorite. Because there is also the battleship. And at first you might wonder, why would I showcase this tower alongside all the overpowered admin stuff? Well, for one thing, it costs $6 to place, and it is the most unfinished of the towers, as its earlier levels have not been implemented at all, and it's using placeholder stats. What's really interesting with the battleship though is that, first of all, it goes in the water, it's a sea unit, and second of all, when you go to place it down, you'll see that it is gargantuan. Fitted out with cannons and turrets, it is also insanely overpowered. Like maybe you're just standing there with a few weak zombies incoming, and you get nuked by the ship. With literally just 3 battleships placed down, I was able to completely shred the Plague Doctor. They are insanely strong. Although they do lose to the stealth zombies, so this tower actually sucks, it's not good. So yeah, you can't really solo with them, even in this extremely unbalanced state. But the battleship itself is not even the most impressive unit, because there's this button up here that says AC 130, and pressing it will... Okay, actually, look at this example here. My towers are struggling to kill this revived Titan zombie. He's got a lot of health, a lot of defense, and it's not looking good. Noob me is gonna lose this round, until he disintegrates. Taken out by this, the AC-130. It's an offensive aircraft that shoots down to the path below, and with the current testing stats, it flies around for approximately a minute, and during that time will straight up spawn kill almost anything. This will be usable in the regular game, although not freely from just clicking a button here. Overall, the vehicle itself is very clean, as too is its partner model, the farm. Okay, so I didn't mention this earlier, but this tower too utilizes an aircraft in its design, as this platform here is just half of the tower. At the start of each wave, in the skies above, an aircraft arrives, dropping the crates full of the farm's money down to the platform itself. These animations and this tracking is incredibly smooth. It is very satisfying watching the little parachutes float the boxes down so smoothly, although it can be a bit worrying when you desperately need that money, which is what this next button is for, the speed multiplier. As you would expect, this allows you to change the game speed. You can set it on 0.2 to give yourself more time to think or capture some cool cinematics, or 3 times speed to help with grinding, and to really stimulate all your brain neurons at once. It's a straightforward feature and concept, but some very nice quality of life. And if you really need more time to think, there's the pause button. I believe this will be like private server limited or solo limited, something along those lines, because you can probably imagine playing a public game with the pause button, where someone named like Hacky Sacky 2910 will spam click it and ruin the game. In the demo state, it allows you to freeze everything, towers, zombies, although not yourself luckily, as you can sell, place, and upgrade towers during the stasis, allowing you to really change the game in an instant. You can like jump scare the zombies. And even capture some interesting up-close shots of towers or zombies mid-animation. This actually helped me make the thumbnail. Finally, there's just a few more buttons left. Skip, which of course already has a naturally integrated system, but with this skip button, you can really skip some waves. Basically, it's just so you can reach certain enemies quicker while testing. It can get out of hand quickly though. And last of all, these 3 buttons, which aren't nearly as exciting to be honest. There's an intermediate or easy mode button, which just swaps around what game mode you're on, the restart button, which restarts the game, and the reset state button, which resets the game state. I don't really know what that means, but so yeah, all these abilities were a lot of fun messing around with. I recorded a lot of footage just doing dumb stuff with them, along with the towers themselves, and I feel like I did most of what there is to do in the demo, aside from actually soloing the game legitimately. Of course, I'm going to be mildly biased here, but I think it's hard to deny that TDX's base mechanics are all very impressive. It definitely feels like they're trying to elevate in terms of elaborate concepts and overall polish. The only question mark remaining is the progression. How many games do I have to play to get DJ? But yeah, it was cool to get invited to something like this. Thank you again to John. Leave a like, subscribe I guess.